Step into your greatness, let it shine oh so bright. I am worthy VIP, gonna take you to new heights. Turn the volume up, let's ignite your soul's delight. Join the journey now, everything gonna be alright. Hey, hey, you know you're worthy all day.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take your source material and distill it into the most potent insights, really cutting through the noise to get to what's important. Today, we're embarking on a fascinating deep dive into a powerful framework for personal transformation, drawing from Awaken the Giant Within Tony Robbins.
Yeah, this one's all about understanding the mechanics of, well, human behavior and how we can consciously shape our own destinies.
Right.
We're going to explore what truly drives us, how our beliefs get formed, and some really practical strategies for making lasting change.
Yeah.
It's really about empowering you to move from just wishing for change to, actually creating it.
Exactly. Think of it like a shortcut to mastering your own internal operating system.
That's a good way to put it.
Our mission today is to pull out those surprising facts and those actionable nuggets that can shift your perspective and give you real tools to direct your life. Okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
So our material kicks off with a really powerful personal story from the author. It highlights this dramatic shift in his life. He talks about flying over Glendale, California in his helicopter, and then suddenly realizing he's hovering right over the building where just 12 years earlier, he was working as a janitor.
Wow. Yeah.
Back then, he describes himself as, fearful, focused only on survival, even worried if his old 1960 Volkswagen would actually make the 30-minute drive to work.
And what's fascinating there is how he connects that journey, his personal story, to a universal truth.
Which is this?
Well, this deep belief that all past failure, all that frustration can actually lay the foundation for a whole new level of living. He says, looking down from the helicopter, he just realized what a difference a decade can make.
Powerful.
And this really illustrates the core idea. It's our decisions, not our conditions, that truly determine our destiny.
So what does that actually mean for you listening? It means recognizing the power to change things, your relationships, career, fitness, income, even your emotional state. Right. It all resides in the choices you make. The text even gives bigger examples, like the huge changes in Eastern Europe, or Lee Chales's determination.
Yeah, building that road to massive change.
Exactly. It's not about just sitting back and waiting for stuff to happen to you.
Which naturally leads to the question, okay, what makes us do what we do? What's the driving force? And the source material argues there's this singular, compelling focus behind all human behavior. It's the need to avoid pain or gain pleasure.
Right, the twin forces.
Exactly. And this isn't just, extreme stuff. Even subtle things like inconvenience or boredom count as pain and comfort. That can be a really strong pleasure.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting, I think. It's what we link pain and pleasure to. That's what shapes our destiny.
Tell me more.
He shares this wild story about his mother trying to cure his desire for beer. She made him drink warm beer until he actually threw up all over the kitchen table.
Oh, wow.
Instantly, he linked the smell of beer to vomit, to these horrible feelings, created what he calls a gut-level neuro-association.
And it's stuck.
Totally stuck. He says he's never had a sip of beer since.
That's incredible. And, this concept isn't just personal. It extends to how advertisers use conditioning all the time.
Like the Pepsi ads.
Exactly. Think of those old Pepsi commercials with Michael Jackson. The goal was to get you into this peak emotional state. The music, the visuals.
Yeah, you felt good watching them.
Right. And then, boom, flash the product. Create that emotional linkage. It really shows how external forces try to shape our associations.
Which is why understanding it is so key.
Absolutely.
Or remember the California raisins? I mean, who'd have thought shriveled and dried could become hip?
Huh. Yeah, just by linking them to that Motown song, I heard it through the grapevine. And those little animated guys.
It just proves these associations can be shaped, for better or sometimes for worse.
Okay, so building on this, the source introduces a really practical framework. He calls it Neuro-Associative Conditioning, or NAC for short.
NAC, got it.
It's his system for consciously rewiring those pain-pleasure links. And it starts with 3 basic principles for immediate change. First, get clarity. Know what you truly want.
Okay. Makes sense.
Second, gain leverage on yourself.
Leverage. What does that mean exactly?
It means making it an absolute must. We'll get into that. And third, Interrupt your limiting patterns. Stop the old behavior in its track.
Interrupt the pattern. Okay.
And then building on those, there are 6 kind of master steps for making the change last.
All right.
So beyond deciding what you want and getting that leverage, which, like I said, means linking massive pain to not changing and massive pleasure to change.
You're really tipping the scales in your brain.
Precisely. The 3rd step is that crucial one, interrupting the limiting pattern.
Okay, how do you do that? The beer example was pretty extreme.
Well, yeah. He uses this analogy of a fly trapped in a room, just bang it against the window again and again.
Right, it's persistent, but the strategy's useless.
Exactly. The pattern interrupts, forces a new approach. And he suggests some pretty outrageous methods sometimes.
Yikes.
Like if you're overeating, he suggests going into a public place and literally screaming, "Pig!"
Yeah.
at your empty chair 3 or 4 times.
Slight chuckle. Seriously. In public.
He argues the more outrageous, the more effective it is at scrambling the pattern. Or for mental patterns, like replaying your boss yelling at you.
Yeah.
Imagine it as a cartoon. Run it backward in your mind. Change the colors, make it silly, give the person Mickey Mouse ears, anything to break that neurological link.
That's wild, but I kind of see the logic. You're scrambling the sensations tied to that memory or habit.
Exactly. Then step 4 is finding a new, empowering alternative. You can't just stop something. You need to replace it.
Right.
The example of Fran Tarkenton, the NFL quarterback, is great here. He was addicted to chewing tobacco. He intensely linked the pain of potential mouth cancer to it. But then he replaced the urge, the old habit, with the positive feelings he got from his relationships, his family.
So pain away from the old, pleasure towards the new alternative.
You got it. And steps 5 and 6 are about conditioning that new pattern.
Huh.
Repetition, 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 ideally with emotional intensity. Practice it until it's automatic.
Like carving out new pathways in the brain.
That's exactly the idea.
Right.
And then step 6 is testing it. Put yourself in situations that used to trigger the old pattern and make sure the new one holds strong.
Okay, so that's the NAC process, but the source goes deeper, right, into like a master system for decision making.
Yes, it does. It identifies 5 key elements within this master system. And the powerful idea is that changing just one of these can create a huge shift in your life.
5 elements. Okay, what are they?
First up, your beliefs.
Beliefs, okay.
These aren't just thoughts. They're like unquestioned commands to your nervous system. They define what you think is possible or impossible. He uses the QWERTY keyboard as a kind of funny example. A belief about typing speed based on really old references, limitations of old typewriters.
Right, designed to slow typists down initially.
Exactly. A more powerful example he gives is Bill Gates committing to deliver basic software for a computer that didn't even exist yet.
Wow.
His genius wasn't just coding. It was his ability to create this absolute certainty in himself and others, even with no existing proof or references.
Yeah.
That's belief in action.
Okay, so beliefs is number 1. What's next?
Number 2, values. These are your personal compass. They guide every single decision you make, consciously or unconsciously.
Your internal compass.
Yeah. And the text makes a useful distinction between moving toward values the feelings you want, like love, success, adventure, and moving away from values the feelings you desperately want to avoid, like rejection, failure, humiliation, fear.
Right. We're driven by both.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what's really fascinating is the author shares his own story of having to change his values hierarchy after a really painful business loss. Yeah. He realized he'd prioritized things like passion maybe a bit too much at the expense of others. So he consciously shifted to prioritize health first, then intelligence, then cheerfulness.
Yeah.
It changed how he operated.
Interesting. So beliefs, values. Number 3.
Number 3, rules. These are the unconscious beliefs we have about what has to happen for us to feel like our values have been met or violated.
Okay, rules. Like conditions we set.
Exactly. Like if your value is love, what's your rule for feeling loved? If it's something like, my partner must tell me I'm a great lover every single day, well, that's a tough rule to meet.
Yeah, probably setting yourself up for disappointment.
You might miss all the other ways love is shown because they don't fit your specific, maybe unwinnable rule. He tells this great story about people traveling from all over for an eclipse. Clouds rolled in. They couldn't see the main event, the totality.
No, all that way.
But they still had an amazing time.
Why?
Because their rule wasn't, I must see the totality to be happy. It was more like, I'm going to enjoy this experience no matter what happens. Big difference.
That's a great illustration. Okay. Beliefs, values, rules. What's number 4?
Number 4 is questions. The questions you ask yourself moment to moment.
questions, how are they part of the system?
Because questions immediately change your focus. And whatever you focus on dictates how you feel and what resources you access. Your brain has to find an answer to any question you pose it.
Okay.
Think about it. If you constantly ask, why does this always happen to me? Well, what kind of answers will your brain find?
Probably reasons to feel like a victim, evidence of failure.
Right. But what if you ask, okay, what can I learn from this? Or how can I turn this around? Different questions access different parts of your brain, different solutions.
That makes sense.
The example given is Donald Trump during a tough financial time. Apparently, while others were asking, how will we survive? He was asking himself, how can I get rich while everyone else is afraid?
Wow. Very different question.
Leads to very different actions. One question unlocks totally different resources.
Okay, beliefs, values, rules, questions. That leaves one more element in the master system.
Yes, and it's arguably the deepest one, identity.
Identity, who you believe you are.
Exactly, your core conviction about who you are at the deepest level. And the text makes this crucial point. For change to be truly lasting, it often requires a shift in identity.
So it's not just about changing habits, but changing who you see yourself as being.
Precisely. Someone who believes, I am a smoker trying to quit, has a different internal reality than someone who believes, I am a healthy person who doesn't smoke.
Yeah, I can see that.
The source even brings up this chilling historical example from the Korean War, how Chinese communists apparently shifted the identities of some American POWs.
How? Not through torture.
No, not primarily through physical brutality, but through clever psychological warfare. Getting them to make tiny concessions, write small critiques, gradually shifting their self-perception until their core identity started to change. It shows the immense power identity holds.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot to take in about the master system. Beliefs, values, rules, questions, identity.
Right. And changing any one of those can ripple through the entire system.
So moving into how we actually apply some of this stuff. The source talks about language, right?
Oh, absolutely. The power of language is huge
Yeah.
and often really underestimated.
Yeah.
He introduces this concept called transformational vocabulary.
Transformational vocabulary.
The basic idea is that the words you consistently attach to your experience literally become your experience. They shape your emotional reality.
How so? Give me an example.
Well, think about facing a challenge. If you habitually label it as devastating or a nightmare,
Yeah.
your body chemistry, your emotional state, your ability to act will be very different than if you label the exact same situation as, say, a bit challenging or an interesting hurdle.
So just changing the word changes how you feel and react.
Fundamentally, it's about consciously choosing words that empower you rather than diminish you, lowering the emotional intensity of negative experiences and maybe amplifying positive ones.
He gives that example of the CEO, doesn't he? The one with the IRS issue.
Yeah, that's a great one. The IRS mistakenly takes like $250,000 from his account. Most people would be furious, enraged, apoplectic.
Right. I know. I would be.
But this CEO, he described himself as just a bit annoyed.
A bit annoyed. Seriously.
That vocabulary choice allowed him to stay resourceful, calm, and fix the problem quickly instead of getting consumed by rage. It shows how your words can manage your state.
Okay, that's powerful. Choosing your words carefully.
And related to that is the idea of life metaphors.
Life metaphors, like life is a journey.
Exactly. These are the overarching symbols or stories we use to represent life or relationships or work. And they carry huge emotional weight. They shape our beliefs and behaviors constantly.
So if my metaphor for life is a constant battle,
Then you'll probably approach everything defensively, looking for conflict, always needing to win or lose. Compare that to someone whose metaphor is life is a dance.
much different feeling. More collaborative, flowing.
Totally. Or life is a game, or life is a test. Each metaphor creates a different world, different rules, different ways of engaging.
Any powerful examples of this?
There was a really moving story about a man named Martin having a heart attack. He felt himself slipping away. And apparently what pulled him back, what gave him the will to fight, was someone shouting a metaphor at him. You're just making a movie, Martin. And the director is about to say cut.
Whoa.
That metaphor somehow resonated, gave him a different perspective, and helped him hang on. It shows their profound impact, even in extreme moments.
Oh, language, vocabulary, metaphors. they all shape our internal world.
Massively.
Okay, so we've looked at understanding our drives or conditioning our master system. What about actually, building the future we want? The source talks about goals, right?
Yes, it shifts powerfully into creating a compelling future. And a huge part of that is goal setting, but maybe not in the way people usually think about it.
How so?
The ultimate key, the text suggests, isn't just setting smart goals, though those can be useful. It's finding a goal so big, so compelling, it seems almost impossible.
Okay.
But the idea of it excites you to crazed excitement, as he puts it, something that pulls you forward with incredible force.
Like a magnetic pull towards the future.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He mentions O.J. Simpson as a boy, apparently telling the legendary Jim Brown that he, O.J., would one day break all his rushing records.
And he did.
He did. It wasn't just talent. It was that unwavering commitment, that huge, seemingly impossible goal driving him.
Persistence, too, I imagine.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Peter Guber fighting for 9 years to get the movie Batman made, believing in it when others didn't. Or his conviction about Rain Man, another unlikely hit. It's that level of belief and persistence fueled by a compelling vision.
Okay, so big, exciting goals. Does it give specific areas to apply this?
Yes, it drills down into some key life areas. First, relationships.
Always important.
It warns about what he calls the 4 R's: resistance, resentment, rejection, repression. These are the things that can slowly poison a relationship, turning lovers into just roommates.
Yeah, that happens. So what's the solution offered?
A lot of it comes back to clear communication, especially about your rules.
Yeah.
Remember those. Understanding what makes you and your partner feel loved or respected or secure.
And using that transformational vocabulary.
Definitely. Saying, I prefer it if you did this instead of attacking with I hate it when you do that. Small shift, big difference.
Makes sense.
And prioritizing the relationship. Simple things like regular date nights or his slightly unusual suggestion of a daily, intentional 180-second wet kiss.
Chuckles. Okay, a 3-minute kiss. That's specific.
The point is conscious effort and connection.
Got it. What's another area?
Financial mastery. This is a big one.
Yeah, money stresses a lot of people out.
And the source points out a sobering statistic. Most people end up dead broke or dead by age 65, often because of mixed-up associations about money, maybe believing it's bad, or feeling guilty about having it combined with a scarcity mindset, thinking there's not enough to go around.
So what's the path to mastery then?
First, focus on adding massive value to others. Wealth often follows value creation. Second, save and invest consistently. A minimum of 10% is suggested.
The power of compounding.
Huge. He uses that analogy. Fold a paper napkin 50 times, theoretically, and it will reach the sun. Compounding is like magic over time.
Wow. Okay. Anything else?
Protecting your assets is key. He notes that something like 94% of the world's lawsuits happen in the U.S., so being aware is important. And finally, enjoying your wealth, particularly through contribution. Tithing, or giving a portion away, is presented not just as charity, but as a way to circulate wealth and affirm abundance.
Add value, save, invest, protect, contribute, enjoy. Okay. What else?
Health and vitality, another crucial one.
Definitely.
It makes an important distinction between just being fit and being truly healthy.
Yeah.
You can look fit, but still be unhealthy internally. The focus is heavily on aerobic exercise, the kind that burns fat efficiently, because that's key to preventing heart disease, which is still the #1 killer.
Consistency is probably key there, too.
Absolutely. Warm up, the aerobic activity itself, cool down, and doing it consistently. He suggests exercise can even become a positive addiction.
A positive addiction.
Yeah, something your body craves that's actually good for you.
Mm-hmm.
And he even mentions that certain types of intense exercise might help stimulate human growth hormone, HGH, which can help combat some effects of aging.
Interesting. Health, finances, relationships, anything else?
Yes, the final piece, which ties everything together, is contribution.
Contribution, giving back.
Exactly. This is presented as the ultimate goal, really, the pinnacle of a well-lived life. It's about moving beyond yourself and making a difference for others.
Doesn't have to be huge things, right?
Not at all. It can be simple acts, a smile, listening, volunteering your time, being a hero in small ways.
Is there an anecdote for this one, too?
Yeah, a powerful one about taking his own kids to the South Bronx with a police captain, Captain John Rondon.
Why?
Partly to link intense pain to the idea of drugs for his kids, seeing the devastation firsthand. But also, as Captain Rondon reminded him, it was a call to action, a reminder of the responsibility to give back, to contribute to solutions.
Wow. That's impactful.
And there's even this surprising detail linked to contribution, the environmental impact of diet.
Oh, how does that fit?
The source suggests that reducing meat consumption can be a significant act of contribution to the planet, saving enormous amounts of water, energy, and land resources. A different kind of giving back.
Huh. Didn't expect that connection. Okay, so contribution ties it all together. We have covered a ton of ground in this deep dive.
Wow.
From the absolute raw power of our decisions to the subtle, sneaky influence of our vocabulary, our metaphors, and how all of that really converges to shape our destiny. It just hammers home that idea that we're not just, creatures of circumstance. We are the creators of it.
Indeed. I mean, the insights from this deep dive really offer a kind of roadmap, don't they, to understanding and actually reshaping your own internal world.
Definitely.
As you've been listening to all this, what stands out to you as maybe the most immediate area where you feel you could apply some of this knowledge right now?
That's a good question. For me, honestly, it's that whole idea of changing your identity, the sheer audacity of it.
Yeah.
Not just tweaking behaviors, but fundamentally shifting who you believe yourself to be. Knowing that what you call yourself, how you define yourself, can ripple out and change your entire master system beliefs, rules, everything. That feels incredibly empowering.
It really is a fundamental shift.
So as you listening reflect on all this we've unpacked, here's maybe a final provocative thought to chew on. If your life were a garden, are you spending most of your time just pulling out the weeds, dealing with the problems as they pop up? Or are you consciously, consistently planting and nourishing the seeds for the magnificent future you truly desire?
Good question to leave people with.
Thank you for joining us on the deep dive. We really hope this exploration has given you some new tools, new perspectives to apply in your own life.
Yeah, hope it sparks something.
Until next time, keep digging deeper.
Step into your greatness, let it shine oh so bright. I am worthy VIP, gonna take you to new heights. Turn the volume up, let's ignite your soul's delight. Join the journey now, everything gonna be alright. Hey, hey, you know you're worthy all day. Stand tall, feel the love come your way. VIP every single day. Let's celebrate, it's your time to sway. Unlock your power, let your spirit take flight. I am worthy VIP, beaming light into the night. Feel the magic spark, it's a beautiful sight. Here to cheer you on, life shining a new light.